so on this layout, we are going to have strips of paper on this side, and this side is going to be open. Now, the workout, yep, that's what we're doing is workout. The workshop instructions tell you to use a cardstock in the color of toffee for the base page. And I'm using White Daisy, and I'm going to come back in with that shimmer, black shimmer, and I'm going to kind of do the spray splatter on the areas where there isn't going to be any strips of paper. Just, again, to take that starkness off. Oops. We'll worry about that later. And give it a little bit of character. And so we're just splattering and moving the pen around in different ways so that it has a different pattern with the splatter. And I'm okay with going dark. Don't have enough on that one to do that, and getting close and doing different areas of paint. And then this side has about 4 inches of strips going down, so I can do more paint in a bigger area on this left page. I'm going to give it just a little squeeze and get some more paint out of the tube. And this side has a little bit more, it goes all the way over to about here, so we don't need as much coverage on the right side. Okay, so I'm going to put that cap back on. I'm going to wipe off my paintbrush, put it down, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is the left side. The left side calls for 4-inch strips on the right hand side. And I'm just going to move this off as it dries so I have a room to work with my pieces. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start by adhering, and we're going to use some stickers from our sticker sheet. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work from the bottom up. So I'm just going to come into the corner down here, and now I'm going to work my way up, and this will be my next piece. No, I'm going to use this one. Okay, some adhesive down, and I will just line these up like so. So then my next one will be this toolbox-like print. There is a better name for it than that, but it's the only thing that it reminds me of are those galvanized toolboxes. And so I'm just basically lining this up along the side. Now there are 2 stickers, they're 12 inches long, that came in that sheet. And so what I've done is I have made a mess on my hand. I have cut them down to 4 1/8. So the 4-inch will go on this side and the 8-inch will go on this side, and there's 2 of them. One has verbiage on it in the terms of city, exit, 39th, across, and the other one is just a brick pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and start with and they're 1/2-inch piece. So I'm going to start with this one first. All right, and this will be the next one that I use. I'm going to come in with this and get some adhesive on here. All right, and I'm just, making sure that this stays lined up. So if a little bit of this hangs off on the end, that's no problem. I can flip it over and go ahead and trim that off later. So now I have a choice to use the dark or the light. I'm going to go ahead and use the dark. I like the patterns of that. So go ahead and put this down. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the brick sticker. Line that right up over here. There we are. Then the next piece that'll come in is this, one down here. And the instructions to do this Throeback are on my website. They're free. Just go ahead and download them right to your computer or even on your phone. And you can save it and use it for any future projects that you may have. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so then our next piece that we're going to do, we've got this one down. So we're going to add this sapphire color in, and we'll just line it up right there. Perfect. So the next step is to go ahead and put down this piece right here. And what's going to happen is it's going to act as a border for our photo mat. So this is why I really didn't care about making that mark, because I knew that it was going to be covered up. And of course, this is however you want to do it. You can make it go this way, or you can go this way. In the workshop instructions, this piece of paper right here is toffee, and this is actually French. I was going to say French vanilla, but that's not right. It is, oh my gosh, the French white. Anyways, so this goes down on top of it. So just making sure that when you are swapping out cardstock colors for what you have in your stash, if that's what you choose to do, just make sure that you're noting what piece is going to go well with this one. It should be any of them, to be honest with you. Okay, so I have a couple of the pieces that hung over, so I'm just going to flip this over, trim those off so that they match, and then we can go ahead and do the right side of the paper. You can always put this in your photo or in your paper trimmer, and it would take care of it that way also. So my left side is done. So swap this out. We're going to bring in our right side. Okay. Here's all of our pieces that are pre-cut for that. Here's the other side of those stickers that were 12 inches that I was explaining about earlier. And this is going to go in that same order. So you're going to start with the blue, and you're going to work your way all the way back up, ending in that blue again. And this is the thicker one at the top. Okay. So really that's all that it is. And again, I really like how the splattering effect is coming out. It's doing a nice job of getting rid of that starkness of the white, giving it the character, even though it's got shimmer in it. And I'm not quite sure if you can see it really well on camera. It still sticks with the masculine theme, I feel, because you are, because it's like that paint splatter texture to it. All right, so let's come in here. I'm going to just scoot some of these things off to the side and give myself some room to work here. Oh, and I know, like I was saying, these instructions are free and they're on my website. You can use these instructions with any paper pack that you have. So if you have an old pack in your stash, feel free to, download these and use it with any coordinating paper pack and cardstock. That's what it's there for, to reuse over and over. It doesn't have to just be for the Urban collection, although it works very, very well for that. Let's see, our next one should be this one. And so once I get that first piece done, I like to line up this side over here and make sure that side's flush, because I can always trim this side off, but this inner side, if I have it and it's jagged, I can't always trim that off or necessarily hide it, because it's inside of the page, obviously. So we're just going to keep doing these layers and work ourselves all the way up to the top. And let's see, this one will go next. I'm trying to look at the other page and see what I did. Okay, the saffron, which I think is really pretty, and I did the darker side. Again, I'm lining up on that left side. Don't care if there's overage over here or whatever. I can just trim it off with my scissors, throw it in my paper trimmer, and it seems to work out really well. You know, and if you're pretty snazzy and crafty, these little strips that are left, these are stickers too. They're nice and straight. You can always use those in future projects if you need just a little glimpse of some sort of, not glimpse, just a little additive of something. All right, so we're gonna add this one in, and then we'll be almost done with layout 3. It's very, goes together very quickly, which I really enjoy. That, you know, once you have everything cut, it's really just a couple of hours total to get all these in. So it's great, you know, some of my kids are napping right now, so this is a great time to finish that off. If you have small kids in the home like I do, or if you have, right, so I'm gonna bring my trimmer over and I'm gonna show you how easy it is to just do this in the trimmer. That off to the side. Okay, I flip it over so I can see exactly what's going on here. Line this up with that 12-inch mark. Okay, because I don't really want to go over that. I don't want to make it too short. And I can just easily slide through, and now it's nice and even, and I don't have too much of anything to worry about. So here's that. Now we just need to put in all of our, see how nice and straight. So we're going to do a 3x4, a 3x4, and then this one will be a 3x3, and this will actually be our journaling. So I'm going to turn that over so it's lighter. And so we have this right here, and I'm actually going to grab my journaling pen right here, and I'm just going to doodle around the edge of it just so that I remember later on that this is my journaling card or spot. Go. And now I can just simply adhere these things down. And these are good size. These are good colors for photo mats. It really just makes it pop. Maybe up here. That looks good. And that black goes nicely as a nice accent with this paper collection. And we're going to put about a 1/2 inch space between these two here. Okay. And the same with the 3x3 here, about a 1/2 inch. You know, and I can just eyeball it using my grid here. Okay. It's a little less. It's okay. Okay, and then my journaling. So I'm going to put this down here. There we go. And now I have my quadrant here. So I have a few stickers that I'm going to use on here. I'm going to put a little taxi cab down here and a little arrow. It's going to go up here. Yeah. And then I am going to come in with that leftover sticker from the layout 2 that we had, and I'm going to use that as a title on this one. Here it is on the left hand page. So I'm going to bring that back in. We're done with that for the moment. Look how adorable this is. Super cute. Okay, and I'm just going to, because remember I cut a straight edge on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to butt it right up here to this. Look what a perfect fit that is. It just flows right off of it. It kind of looks like it was tucked up under. Adventure ahead. Because the stamp set that came with it, you would have stamped What a Day up here. But remember, I don't have that. And so I'm just trying to utilize, you know, what I have on hand and make this paper pack work as is. Okay, so I put a little powder on the back of this for my embossing guy, and I'm going to put some adhesive on just the top, and I'm going to use some of these thin ones. Let's flip that back over, and okay, and that's going to go right here. Perfect. And now this is here, and when I add my picture in, it still floats up. Great. So I would say our left page is done for now. So let's do our right side, and I'm going to do something very similar with the taxi. I'm going to pop it up and over. So, and it's going to go right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the adhesive off the front end of that taxi, just like I did in the other layouts. And I'm not going to pop him up. I'm just going to let him ride like this. Great. Perfect. Love it. And here's this one. Yay. Well, I am going to come back through after I have gotten all of my stickers done and whatever I have left, and kind of add in. Most of these are used somewhere. So like these are all spoken for, and I think these are too. And I might have a star or something left. Or I might come in with some banners with a lot of my leftover scraps. There's plenty of scraps that are left over. But for now, the picture that I add to here, the pictures that I add here will do a wonderful job of bringing the rest of this layout to life. Okay, so join me for the final layout before we get into the cards using the Urban paper pack. You guys are awesome. I'll see you back momentarily.